What's going on at Sheffield United? That's got everyone talking. A Sky pundit was left gobsmacked by a board decision, one player dropped a statement that'll send shivers down your spine, and the club made a move that could shake everything up. 3 bombshells about to blow right in your face, and you need to know about them now. Stick around till the end because the last one will leave you utterly speechless. Hit the subscribe button and smash that like right now. Can you picture a Sky Sports expert being utterly gobsmacked by a decision from Sheffield United? Well, that's exactly what happened when the club flogged an experienced defender to a direct rival on the very last day of the transfer window. This is going to catch you off guard. Lee Hendrie couldn't hide his shock at the Blades' choice to let Jack Robinson go. Let me ask you, how on earth does a team that's already shipped 7 goals in 4 games decide to offload a 32-year-old defender? Honestly, it just doesn't add up. The defender, who'd featured in 3 of the first 4 matches of the campaign, wound up at Birmingham City on a 2-year deal. I reckon this was a questionable shout from Sheffield United, especially given how shaky things are for them at the moment. Hendrie just came out with it on Sky Sports. I'm well surprised, to be honest, especially with the situation they're in this season. They've had a naff start, and defensively they've looked ropey from the off. I'm asking you, do the Blades board even know what they're playing at? Shifting an experienced player when you're rooted to the bottom is well risky at best. If you ask me, Birmingham have pulled a blinder. Sheffield United have lost every single one of their first 4 fixtures, 8 points adrift of the playoffs, and absolutely anchored to the bottom of the championship. Meanwhile, Birmingham sit 10th with 7 points. The gap's glaring. But hang on, the board didn't just sit on their hands. They've brought in Japhet Tanganga, Nils Zetterstrom, Ben Godfrey, and Mark McGuinness to shore up the backline. Maybe those signings go some way to explaining Robinson's departure, but only time will tell if it pays off. Now brace yourself because the Blades Loney came out with a statement that'll absolutely floor you. Said they'd do it all over again, even with the grief that came with it. You heard me right. Chiedozie Ogbene, out on loan from Sheffield United to Ipswich Town, came out with something that left me lost for words. Honestly, who'd choose to tear their Achilles all over again, knowing how brutal the recovery is? That, for me, is the mark of a real battler. The 28-year-old winger did his tendon in last October, just shy of 2 months after an £8 million move from Luton to Ipswich. Spent 9 months on the sidelines, but look what he said. If I could go back 9 months, I'd snap my Achilles all over again. I'm miles wiser now. I reckon this shows what a strong head he's got on his shoulders. He owned up that he was pretty emotional at first, said he felt guilty for not repaying the faith shown in him by the club, but the injury totally flipped his outlook on life. While working his way back, Ogbene became a dad, got made a disability ambassador at Ipswich, and grew much closer to his sister with Down syndrome. He said, "I'm a different sort now. I'm grateful for loads more things." Let me ask you, how many players could spin a serious injury into something so positive? For me, Ogbene is pure inspiration. A kid actually came up and said, "Chio, no matter what, you're still my favorite." Nearly had him in tears. Now he's back on loan at Sheffield United and has just been called up for the Republic of Ireland. The experience he's picked up could be just what the Blades need to dig themselves out of this mess in the championship. And to really cap it off, Sheffield United made a call on a striker that might have totally changed their season. Preston wanted him, but the Blades weren't having it. Was that right? Tom Cannon was this close to joining Preston North End on deadline. Our day, but Sheffield United dug their heels in and kept him. Do you reckon they made the right call, or have the Blades bottled a decent opportunity? It's a real head-scratcher. Preston tabled an offer for the 24-year-old right at the close of business, but nothing doing. Cannon, an ex-Leicester man, has dropped down the pecking order since Danny Ings rocked up on a free from West Ham. Jimmy, a die-hard Blades fan and proper expert, laid it out. For him personally, it'd be a cracking move. For the club, shifting. His hefty wages and giving him a run would serve everyone well. But here's the catch. The board, I reckon, were thinking big picture. Cannon may be third choice after Danny Ings and Tyrese Campbell, but those two have history with injuries. So think about it. What if one of them breaks down? That leaves us bang short up front, Jimmy admitted. And even if only one is fit, you can't rinse the same striker for 90 minutes, week in, week out. Sheffield United had an absolutely frantic end to the window. bringing in 4 new faces on deadline day: Alex Matters from Chelsea, Mark McGuinness. From Luton, Chiedozie Ogbene on loan from Ipswich, Ben Mee for Nout from Brentford. All told, 14 signings since coming up from League One. Japhet Tanganga, Tahith Chong, Ben Godfrey, Neil Zetterstrom, and a fair few others have been brought in to help steady the ship for the Blades. If you ask me, keeping Cannon was shrewd. You're better off with a deeper squad than left scrambling, especially with a track record of injuries to other frontmen. Right then, folks, after running through these 3 big calls at Sheffield United, here's what I've got to say. This club is bang in the middle of a proper shakeup. I genuinely reckon the decisions being made now will decide whether the Blades can claw their way back or if they're in for an even rougher ride in the Championship. Shifting Jack Robinson might have ruffled feathers, but I'm telling you, the signings at the back show the club's got a plan. Youngsters and seasoned heads together for a new solid base. Obeain's story is properly moving. Proves football's more than just what happens on the pitch. He turned a nasty setback into something life-changing, and now he's come back even harder. Isn't that exactly what Sheffield United need right now? And holding on to Tom Cannon, even with Preston sniffing about, was a strategic shout. I reckon it was bang on. Gotta have depth in the squad, especially with others being injury-prone. So, what do you reckon about the call to flog Jack Robinson to Birmingham? Was it a gaffe by the board or just clearing space for fresh blood? Drop your thoughts below. And about Ogbene's statement that he'd snap his Achilles again, is that sheer mental strength or just madness? What do you make of that mindset? Lastly, keeping Tom Cannon with Preston lurking, too wary or a proper long-term move? I want your takes. If you've made it this far, it's clear you genuinely care about Sheffield United and want the latest from the Blades. This channel's for you. All the news, chats, and analysis you need on our club. Hit that subscribe button now, whack the notification bell, and lash down a cracking like. That way you won't miss out and help the channel to grow. Let's build the biggest community of Blades fans on YouTube together. See you next time. Come on, you Blades.